Hello, good evening everybody. Welcome to TCB Radio Network on Facebook Live. My name is Krista Joy. My co-host, Elvis tribute artist and cover model, Peter Alden, is out working tonight. Actually, he's at Hard Rock Orlando doing a meet and greet as Elvis tonight. We are celebrating the life and memory of Elvis Presley with a mission to share his legacy with the world. It's Tuesday, February 20th, 2018, and tonight we have news on a new exhibit at Graceland and the free tickets they're actually giving away to go see that, as well as this day in Elvis history. And I even have a special guest for you tonight, my beautiful friend Leesah Stiles, who does a fantastic Ann-Margret tribute. She's going to be coming up at the end here to talk to you about what it's like to be an Ann-Margret tribute artist, a professional singer. She gets to sing with Peter Alden, and she's amazing. So I can't wait for you guys to meet her. But first, let's go ahead and kick it off with our intro like we usually do, and then we'll get into the news. Hi, Sissy. Hi, Tina. Hi, Amanda. Thank you so much for watching live tonight. Okay, we're going to do it the old school way. Since Pete's not home, we're going to go back to the old way. So stand by here. Let me go ahead and turn the camera out. There we go. Looks like we're okay. We can see it.
It was a night, what a night it was, it really was such a night. The night was bright, oh how bright it was, it really was such a night. The night was alive with stars above. Ooh, and she kissed me, I had to fall in love. Oh, it was a kiss, ooh, what a kiss it was, it really was such a kiss. Oh, how she could kiss. Oh, what a kiss it was, it really was such a kiss. Just the thought of her lips sets me on fire. I reminisce and I'm filled with desire. But I gave my heart to her in sweet surrender. How will I remember? I'll always remember. Oh, that night. What a night it was, really was such a night. Came the dawn, had my heart in her love, and the night was gone. But I'll never forget such a kiss in moonlight. How will I remember? I'll always remember. Oh, that night. What a night it was, really was such a night. Came the dawn, had my heart in her love, and the night was gone. But I'll never forget such a kiss in moonlight. Ooh, such a kiss, such a night. It was a night, ooh, what a night it was, it really was such a night. When we kissed, I had to fall in love. But I gave my heart to her in sweet surrender.
Okay, sorry about that. We went a little long. Okay. All right. So let's see. Where do we begin? Hey Sharon. Hey Tina. Okay. So here we go with our first story. My tripod's falling apart here. Here we go. Elvis Presley began his service in the United States military on March 24th, 1958, when he was inducted into the U.S. Army. To salute our troops and to commemorate the 60th anniversary of Elvis's military service, Graceland has announced that complimentary tickets to the new Elvis Presley's Memphis Entertainment and Exhibit Complex will be made available on March 24th to all military veterans and those serving on active duty. So I just thought that was really cool. And that anniversary day, March 24th, will also mark the opening of an expanded Private Presley, is what they're calling it, which is an Army exhibit at Elvis Presley's Memphis. Additionally, the AAA 4-Diamond Guest House at Graceland Resort Hotel will offer its Salute to Heroes discounted rate of 30% off standard room rates to both active and retired military. So this is all good news. And the newly expanded Private Presley exhibit will take an in-depth look at Elvis's military service, including letters from Elvis's manager, Colonel Tom Parker, to the Army asking for a deferment to allow Elvis to complete filming of King Creole. The letters from the Army regarding press access to Elvis, his original Army footlocker, the dress that his mother Gladys wore at his induction ceremony, and more. Fans can also learn about how Colonel Parker kept Elvis's career alive while he was serving in Germany, and see his items from Frank Sinatra's legendary Welcome Home Elvis 1960 ABC television special. So a little history on Elvis in the military. Again, it was March 24th, 1958, and Elvis was inducted into the United States Army at the Memphis Draft Board and assigned serial number 533-10761. On March 25th, at Fort Chaffee, Arkansas, he received his indoctrination exam and traditional military GI haircut in front of 55 media photographers. Elvis received basic training at Fort Hood, Texas. Private Presley was assigned to the 2nd Armored Division at Fort Hood and was stationed there for 6 months before being sent to West Germany in September 1958. He was honorably discharged on March 5th, 1960. Elvis served his country just like any other GI, with none of the special privileges his celebrity status might have afforded him. He was, by all accounts, a model soldier, earning the lasting respect of his fellow soldiers and the public at large. He returned to civilian life in March 1960. Now, for those of you that tuned in on the night that we interviewed Larry Geller, who of course was Elvis's close friend, spiritual advisor, and more, we have a fantastic interview with Larry Geller. You can hear it over at tcbradionetwork.com. You all might recall the story Larry told. He knew Elvis later in his life, of course, and Larry tells a story about a time where Elvis spoke his true feelings about what it was like for him to go into the military. While he was happy and that he could serve his country, it was also a very hard time in a lot of ways. So you should go back and listen to that interview if you haven't. It's spectacular. Larry is just an awesome guy. He shared so much about Elvis with Peter and I. But going back into this, the complimentary tickets for the Elvis Presley's Memphis must be requested on site at Graceland on March 24th by active or retired members of the U.S. military with a valid ID. Full details and restrictions are available at graceland.com. Guest house at Graceland accommodations at the Salute to Heroes discounted rate will have limited availability. Information is available at 800-238-2000 or just go to guesthousegraceland.com. Debbie's here. Hi. Debbie says we're doing a great job. Thank you, Debbie. And Terry remembers our interview with Larry. I know you've been so faithful watching the shows. I feel like I'm bouncing around. I don't know if I have good connection. I hope y'all can see me. Okay, so here's the other news I found. I thought this was cool. There's an auction house, Phillips, in association with Box and Russo, and they announced today that they are going to auction an Omega wristwatch that once belonged to Elvis Presley as the highlight of its Geneva Watch Auction 7, scheduled for May 12th through 13th in Geneva. The watch was gifted to Elvis in 1961 by RCA Records to commemorate the milestone of selling 75 million records worldwide. The music icon wore it briefly before trading it away. His second record label, RCA, hosted a celebration charity event and concert on February 25th, 1961, not only to award Elvis for such a significant achievement, but also to reestablish him as a performer, which was according to the press statement from Phillips. Thank y'all so much. Yes, Michael, share. Everybody share the video if you get a moment. I would really appreciate it. Hit that share button. The governor of Tennessee was a guest at the event and even proclaimed the date as Elvis Presley Day before RCA presented Presley with a plaque commemorating 75 million records sold. The plaque is still hanging at Graceland, but the 18-karat white gold and diamond Omega wristwatch, which was purchased at Tiffany & Company, will soon have a new owner. The auction house doesn't name the watch's current owner, but says it was given to the owner's uncle after he had expressed his admiration for it. This, of course, going back to this story, a lot of you know if you complimented something Elvis was wearing, it wasn't unusual for him to take it off and give it to you. And I would imagine that's something that happened with this beautiful Tiffany watch. So it says, but none has been attached to such a huge achievement and well-documented moment in time. The timepiece is inscribed to Elvis, 75 million records, RCA Victor, December 25th, 1960. It's cased in 18-karat white gold, housing a manually wound Omega caliber 510 stamped with the OXG import code for the United States, along with the Tiffany & Company retailer signature beneath Omega at 12 o'clock. The bezel is set with 44 round, brilliant diamonds. The watch will be sold with certificates of authenticity from the Elvis Presley Museum and a book titled Elvis by Dave Marsh that includes images of Elvis Presley wearing this watch. The celebrity-worn watch Phillips auctioned Paul Newman's Rolex Daytona, and that one sold for an astounding $17.7 million in October. And this one may not fetch quite that much, but it's likely to be a very impressive bid. And if you Google the watch, you can actually see pictures of it. So look it up and you'll see it on Google. It's really, really, really pretty. So did you guys watch any of the Olympics? I don't even know. Maybe they're still going on. I'm so behind the times. But I wanted to share with you, in case you hadn't heard, Russian ice skater Mikhail Kolyada donned a black jumpsuit-esque outfit and performed to a medley of Elvis hits, including Steamroller Blues, Can't Help Falling in Love, and Rip It Up for the men's free skate program at the 2018 Winter Olympics. There you go, Elvis in 2018. He's still relevant. His opponents also skated to songs by well-known artists such as the Beatles, Coldplay, and Jeff Buckley. Canada took home the gold in the figure skating team event. Olympic athletes from the Russian won silver, and Team USA won the bronze. Graceland was lighting up red, white, and blue to support Team USA during the Olympics. You may have seen that on the Graceland live cam. So if you guys were watching that, or if you missed it, it's probably up on YouTube and you can catch it. This Russian ice skater doing his routine to a medley of Elvis songs. How cool is that? All right, for a final segment before our exciting interview, I wanted to share with you what Elvis was doing on February 20th, 2008, not this year, but on February 20th. Back in 1955, Elvis performed at the Robinson Auditorium in Little Rock, Arkansas at 3 o'clock and 8:15. He began another Jamboree attraction tour. This one was billed as a WSM Grand Ole Opry show, and Elvis, Scotty, and Bill received $350 for these two shows instead of their usual $200 pay. Imagine that. The following year, February 20th, Elvis performed at the Palms Theater in West Palm Beach, Florida, right here in my home state. In 1967, on February 20th, Elvis bought a red chestnut gelding and a Palomino mare. On February 20th, 1969, still, I don't even know what that means, Still at American, and again, an all-night recording session with It Keeps Right On a Hurtin' and Any Day Now. Earlier this day, Elvis bought a microfilm reader from Kodak, and he had more than 4,000 personal items microfilmed. It's very interesting. February 20th, 1977, Elvis performed at the Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina. Elvis called up Ginger Alden's sister Terry up on stage to play a short selection of classical music on the piano. So I have for you actually a video that is just a portion of this concert, and I wanted to go ahead and show it to you and risk the copyright people at Facebook coming down on me. But I think it's worth it. So I'm going to go ahead and show this to you guys because it's really cool to think that this was the last year of his life and he was just months away from passing away, but he's still phenomenal. Watch this. It's really cool. Let me turn this other thing off here. Hold on. All right, we're going to go ahead and turn the camera out. Okay, check this out.
I would make what you want to see. I'll be sad and blue.
All right. Hey, I want to thank you guys so much. I was able to scroll through the comments while the video was playing. I just love seeing everybody, and thank you for saying hello and talking to each other. It's so awesome. And someone had wrote in that they had seen Elvis in concert. That's so cool. And I'm going to read through all these again when I'm done and write back to you. Thank you for sharing. So without too much further ado, I want to introduce you to a dear, sweet friend of mine, beautiful performer here in the Orlando, Florida area. She also lives in New York, so she's back and forth. You can have my chair so you don't have to do all that. Let me bring her on camera. You can sit right there and then they can see you. Everybody, this is Leesah Stiles. Yay! So, Leesah, you're living the dream. At least for some of us girls. You are, you've been a professional singer for how many years?
My mother says I started in my high chair in between bites of strained peas and carrots, but professionally since I was about 17. So just a couple of years ago, really.
All right.
Just a few years.
You know, because yeah.
2 or 3 years ago.
And just recently, we're so lucky to get to know you. Peter, of course, my boyfriend and co-host, Elvis tribute artist, and we thought, we're beautiful natural red hair. What a great Ann-Margret tribute Leesah could do.
That's the Ann-Margret teeth grit.
Were you doing Ann-Margret before we talked about it, or
not really? This is it's a new endeavor for me, but I'm kind of digging it because
yes.
I always sort of had a thing for Elvis. I was telling Krista earlier that I had a special feeling when I was about 8 years old. I saw Elvis on TV for the first time, and my knees got all weak, and I felt a little bit sweaty, and I didn't exactly know what was happening, but it was, I think, I was just overwhelmed by his magnetism.
A natural response. Natural response.
Even 8-year-olds.
That's so great. Well, Leesah is she's really polished in her act. She's absolutely got to probably be my favorite Ann-Margret that I've ever met.
I gave her $50 to say that.
She's doing a great job, and I wanted to bring her on camera tonight because I know we have a ton of ETAs that watch the show, and if you're ever looking for an Ann-Margret, Leesah's available, and she can do the grit.
I can do the teeth grit, and yeah,
she has such a
and I can also
voice.
actually sing and dance too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm a great actress. Although it's not really that hard because when you're already attracted to Elvis since you were 8 years old, it's kind of like instinct, you know. It's really very easy. You don't have to act.
That's awesome. So I wanted to show you guys a little video of one of the first times that Leesah and Pete performed together. So I'll go ahead and put that on for you, and we'll close out the show.
Yay!
All right, so I guess we
Do I
got to
just
switch
move?
chairs
Okay.
again. Yeah. We're very high tech here at TCB Radio Network. Okay, let me go ahead and put this video on. It's not the best quality because I took it with my iPhone. Yvonne says she sounds like her. She really does, and it's like she not even when she's not even trying. Carol Williams says you're gorgeous. Jane says hi, Leesah from Kentucky. Okay, let me turn the camera out. I'll show you guys this video so you can see how good she is
I haven't
in
perfected
action.
the hair yet, though. I'm still working the hair.
The hair is tricky.
It is.
She loves me.
Here's
The
Leesah
lady
Pete.
loves me, and it shows. In spite of the way she turns up her nose, I'm her ideal, her heart's desire. Under that ice, she's burning like fire. She'd like to cuddle up to me. She's playing hard to get. The lady loves me, but she doesn't know it yet.
They're sending you hearts, Leesah. Aw.
The gentleman has several fare, as much as an elephant or a bear. I'd like to take him for a spin, back to the zoo to visit his kin. He's got about as much appeal as a saggy cigarette. The lady loves him, but he doesn't know it yet.
The lady's got a crush on me.
The gentleman's crazy, obviously.
The lady's dying to be kissed.
The gentleman needs a psychiatrist. I'd rather kiss, I'd rather take a penny Russian roulette.
Michael loves your voice. I know, she's awesome.
But she doesn't know yet. She's falling fast, she's on the skid.
Both of his heads are flipping their lips.
The lady's dying.
Jody says, oh my goodness, you sound just like
The
her.
gentleman
Aw,
needs
so
a
much awesome.
psychiatrist. I'd rather die with Frankenstein in the moonlight than
Hey Yvonne, hi girls. Thanks for watching.
But she doesn't know it yet. She wants me.
like poison ivy, like a hole in my head.
Everyone can see she's got it bad.
He's bad. Gentleman is an egotist.
I'm simply aware I'm hard to resist.
Too much I can't believe you now.
How's about having dinner at 8?
I'd rather die with Frankenstein in a moonlight.
The lady loves me, but she doesn't know it yet. I said she loves me.
If one girl will never guess.
She loves me.
Take this shrinking violet.
I said the lady loves me.
Do you want to make a bet?
Oh yeah, she loves me.
The gentlemen all wet.
Couldn't do it.
The hair was just too perfect to
The
mess
hair
up.
was too perfect. I couldn't ruin his hair.
Well, thank y'all so much for watching. Thanks for the nice comments. Don't forget to look up Leesah Stiles on Facebook. She loves Leesah, Leesah. She loves to travel, and I'll put a link to her Facebook page so y'all can give her a like and encourage her in her Ann-Margret journey that she's really getting into this year. So they do sound great. They're phenomenal. I'll bring you some more live video the next time they perform together. So thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed getting your Elvis news tonight on TCBRadioNetwork.com, on Facebook Live. We'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Good night.